say a hi to him?
Hi.
Okay, so that's that. So today we are basically going to be doing a bit of coding. So first, I have a few questions with me. Let me share it with you. 1 second. Can you enable the participant screen sharing?
Yes, of course. Yes, now you can share your screen.
Okay. So first, let me just show you what the question is. So this, if you can see, so this is a question. So an internet service provider company charges its customers according to the number of hours they have used the internet. So here's the number of hours and here's the charges. So we have been given the data here, so you can just read it. I won't be reading it out. So the question is, we have to write a program to take the number of hours from the user, which is the data given here, and then we have to display the charges to be paid. So the number of hours is right here, and the charges is right here. So first of all, if you know that I'm gonna be coding on QBasic, both of us are. So first, I'll just open up QBasic. One sec, I've paused my video. Let me just find QBasic. All right, so if you can see, I've shared my screen. I've shared my screen and opened a QB64, which is my compiler. So let's start with clear screen, and then I'll just be doing an alt tab to see the question. So again, I have been given that this is the number of hours and this is the charges, and I have to write a code based on the number of hours and the charges. So first of all, we'll just ask the user for how many hours they used the internet for. So for that, we can write a print statement. All right, 1 second. I guess you cannot see my screen. Can you see it now?
I
My
don't think
screen.
so.
All right.
Maybe there's some issue or something.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see it now? All right. So
Yes.
now I'm gonna do a. Okay, that's great. So now I'm gonna write a print statement to ask the user for his or her like how much duration they used the internet for. So let's open the string and then we'll just ask them. We will tell them hi. How many hours did you use the internet for? Okay, so now we have added a question mark, and now because we are asking a question, the user is going to input an answer. Now for the answer, we're going to write an input statement, and we're going to add a variable through which the user can like enter his or her answer. So either we can do it on a separate line, we write input and we give it a variable. So the variable is going to be this, and because it's a number, I'm not going to add my dollar the dollar this symbol. I'm just gonna leave it like this, hours, because it's just a number. So this is one way of doing it. If not, you can just come back here, put a semicolon, and write hours here. So now over here, hours is going to be the variable here. So let me just run it and show you. 1 second. So it's just checking my program. So then I'll run it, and then I can show you what I mean.
Yes.
Uh, okay, looks like it's taking a lot of time to check. So I'll just explain it to you. So if you can see the print statement right here. So according to the print statement, we've asked the user for how many hours they use the internet, how many hours they use the internet for. Okay, and then over here I've written hours. So this right here is the variable. Okay, so this in this variable it's gonna store the input from the user. So if we write the variable here right next to the statement after a semicolon, then it's going to ask the question right there, and the user will have to input his or her answer on the same line. But if you want the user to input the answer on the next line just write input and give them the variable. So I'm going to do it this way because it's easier for you guys to understand as well. Okay, so now they're going to input their hours. Now going back to the question, we've been given the number of hours. If it's less than 10 hours, okay, then we have to charge rupees 300. Okay, so first we are going to ask them for how many hours they use the internet for. Now suppose their answer is anything less than 10. Okay, so it can be 0, or it can be 1 or 4 or 8, anything like that. So these are the hours less than 10. So now I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna put an if statement. So if, okay,
Aryan, you're muted if you're speaking.
yeah, sorry for that. So now we're gonna give the variable which was ours. So if ours, okay, so if ours is less than 10, okay, so 1 second, then we write it then, okay, and then we add an end if here. Now we're gonna write the body. So if the ours is less than 10, then we're gonna write a statement which is print your charges are, and then we're gonna give a rupees 300. Okay, so that's what's given. So if it's less than 10 hours, then it's gonna be 300, and then we end the string. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a less than equals to here. So if it's like equivalent to 10, then also we'll charge them 300 rupees. So then we're gonna give them your charges are 300 rupees else. Okay, so now this is an if else statement that I'm using. So if the hours, okay, whatever variable they have given us, whatever they have inputted inside the variable, so that's gonna be the, like, the value of the variable. Now suppose they have input 8. So it's going to be an if 8 is less than equals to 10, which is obvious. So then it's going to print rupees 300. Now what if it's greater than 10? So then the charges between 10 to 20 hours is going to be rupees 400. So then we give an else, and then we print again, print, no, sorry, else again. So we're gonna give another if statement. So else if ours is less than equal to 20, and 1 second, I'll just add a space here. If ours is less than equal to 20 and it's greater than 10, then all right. So now I'll just explain to you what I've written. So suppose the hours is like more than 10 hours, but it's like less than 20 hours. So that's what I've written in the form of code. So basically, if the hours that the variable that they've given, so whatever the value of it is, so if it is like less than equals to 20, okay, so if it is 20 hours or it is less than 20 and ours is greater than 10. Now less than 20, according to the computer, we because the computer doesn't know that it has to be greater than 10 as well until we tell it. So now the computer is going to think less than 20 means that it can go until 0. So even 8 or 6 or 11, 19, all this is less than equals to 20. Even 20 is equivalent to 20. Okay, so because of that I've added an and ours is greater than 10. Now it's only so because I've added this part of the code, now the laptop or the program, it's going to understand that one second. Yeah, yeah, so the program is going to understand that it's between 20 and 10 hours. So that's why I've added an and over here as the operator, logical operator. So if we put in or, then it'll take it as less than 20, or if it is any value which is greater than 10. But we do not want that, so we're going to give an end. Okay, now we again write a print statement, and according to the question, if it is like more than 10 hours but less than equals to 20 hours, then it's going to charge rupees 40, sorry, 400. So we're going to write your charges are rupees 400, and then end the string. Now again we're going to go to the next line, and we're putting in else. Okay, and after this else we go to the next line and we write another if statement. Now what if the whatever the hours are, we have now taken it from 0 to 20. Okay, so now one second, Subhranshu, you can just like stop, pause the recording for a sec.
Yes.
All right. So now we know that from 0 to 20 hours, we've already found it out, because over here we're given less than 10, which is 0 to 10, and over here, which is less than equal to 20 or greater than 10. So this is 10 to 20, sorry, 11 to 20. So now we've taken the hours from 0 to 20. What if the value which the user gives is not, okay, listen carefully, is not between 0 to 20 hours? Then what do we do? So we're going to give another if statement, right? So here it says, okay, one second. All right, so we've just got one last condition. So instead of giving if, we can just write an else statement. So we're going to write else if ours, one second, if ours is greater than 20, then, all right. So now it's going to show you a syntax error if ours is greater than 20. So you just have to clear, like enter twice and then type in an end if. Now the error goes. So now what if the ours is like between, if it is greater than 20, then we have to just that your charges are rupees 200, sorry, 500. All right, so with this, we've come to the end of the program. Okay, so now if you see, I don't have any errors as well. Now here is a short tip for you guys. So so instead of writing an if ours is greater than 20, then and adding an extra end if here. So if you want to convert all these three lines I've selected into just one single line, then here's what you have to do. All right, so over here we were on this else. So just click and enter. Now we know that the value which we got is nothing between 0 to 20 according to the last condition. So of course it's going to be greater than 20. Now the program knows that if it's not 0 to 20, then it has to be greater than 20. So as the program already knows that, we do not have to add an extra and if, sorry, an if and an end. So what we do, we just directly write a print statement, and then we write your charges are rupees 500. All right, so I'll just correct this right here. All right, so now if you can see, finished my code. Now I'm just going to run the program. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, you can pause it again now. I am going to ask you something. All right, so guys, actually, I'm having some errors, and it's not like it's not running. The program isn't running. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy these 12 lines of code, and then 1 second. And after copying all these, I'm just going to send it to my friend right here in the video. So now he's going to share his screen and he'll run it and he'll show you, and we'll see if what I have given is working or not.
Yes, sure.
All right, so I've stopped sharing. Now I've given the code to you in the chat. You can refer to that, copy, paste it.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen in a second.
Sure.
Okay, so now I'll be sharing my screen to show if Aryan's code is right or not. Come on, let's show.
Okay. I'm feeling pretty nervous if it's gonna work or not, because I'm
Yeah,
like
I
coding
guess it's gonna
after.
work because like we both are really good in basic.
Yeah, but then for some reason I'm nervous because I've forgotten coding a bit. I am coding
So
after a long
I
time.
hope
So
you can see my
let's see.
screen.
Yes.
Okay, so now
Okay.
I'll run the program. I guess it will take some time to run it because like yeah. Okay, so the program is starting.
Right.
Yes, so can you see?
Yes, we can see it.
So
All right, 1 second. So now, if you know, so according to the code which I shared, so let's test all the three possibilities. All right. So first, so Branso, you can enter any number which is less than 10. So we'll see the if the first condition
okay,
works,
so I'll go with
less than equal to 10.
7.
Okay.
So
So
its
can
charges
you
are
like open
300.
the other tab? All right. So it says the charges are rupees 300. So now if you can see that, then it works. So let me show you the question. So according to the question, as you can see, the time, okay, the charges which you can see, it's less than 10 hours is rupees 300, and as he entered 7, that's less than 10. Now let's see the second possibility, which
Yes.
is greater than equal to 20 and less than 10. Any number between 20 and 10.
Okay, so let's go with 20 itself.
Okay, let's see if my equals to works. All right, so again, if you can see, the if it's less than 10 hours and it's sorry, if it's greater than 10 hours and less than 20 hours, our charges are supposed to be 400, and that is what the program shows. So this is correct. Now let's see the last possibility, which is any number greater than 20. It can even be greater than 1000, but I'm pretty sure no one will do that.
Yeah,
All
so
right, you
why
can take
don't we
any
go
number
with
which is greater than 20.
we'll go with 99.
Okay, that's great.
So
All right, so it says your charges are 500 rupees. So again, according to the question, if the duration is more than 20 hours, then it's going to charge us 500 rupees. So as you can see, my code worked perfectly. Now Subrancho is going to show us his question and start with his code.
yes, so this
Thanks
is
a lot,
like
Subrancho.
yeah, no
My
problem.
code wasn't working.
Yeah.
All
So
right, so let's just wait for him to show it.
now I'll be like we'll be doing another question. So this time I'll be sharing my
Okay.
screen and showing you the question. So like for like there's this problem like I'm not able to like share my like whole screen for some reason. So I'm just gonna share like my like document first and then I'll go with the program. So I hope you can see my screen, audience.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so we'll be doing this question. So the question is write a program to display the grades of a student on the basis of the entered percentage. So you can see the table right here. So if the percentage is greater than or equal to 90%, then like the grade of the student will be O. And then If it is less than 90% but greater than or equal to 80%, then his or her grade will be A. And then if it's less than 80% or more than or equal to 70, then it will be B. And if the percentage is less than 70, then it will be C. So now I'll be opening QB64 and I'll be showing you like how to do it. So
Sure.
just a second.
All right.
Yeah. So okay, now I'll be sharing my.
Yeah, sure.
Hmm, yes. So I hope you can see my screen. Now I'll be like deleting this code because it was like recently Aryan's which I was running for him. Now I will
Okay.
be so can you see anything else or can you only see like my QB64 window?
Yes, we can see QB64 window only.
Okay. So now I'm gonna start. So like me and
Sure.
Aryan like have different ways. Like everyone has a different way of writing the code. So now I'll be starting with my code. So first I'll like
Yeah, that's
take
true.
input of the like percentage. So I'll go with input and then I will write and then in I'll write what is your percentage. So now I'll give it a I'll give the variable a name. So I'll keep it as x. So
Okay.
now let's start with the program. So as I showed you the question, let me like read out the first part of the question. So we need to see. So if the percentage is greater than or equal to 90, then the grade should be O. So what we can like write is if if x is greater than or equal to 90 and x is, for example, x is greater the x is yeah, so if x is smaller than 100, smaller than or equal to 100, then we can then we have to write then and print we have to print o o grade. So this is the first variable. So if it's greater than 90 or like less than or equal to 100, then the code should print the grade O. So now the other part of the question is if the percentage is less than 90 but greater than or equal to 80%, then the grade should be A. So now what we will do is we will write sorry, there was a mistake here. I'm just gonna I have forgotten, right? We have to write else if, like that is like how I write my own code. So let me erase this. Yes. Yes. So now we will be going back to the second part. So now we
So Pranshu, can you just come back and like stop sharing for 1 second?
yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you stop the recording? Start recording it.
Yes.
All
So
right. So
I have
guys, yeah, you can. Yeah.
yeah. So like we were like running short of time, so we wrote the code like quick, and we can explain it to you right now. So we had
Yeah.
stopped at else if if for the B grade. So you can see else if is x is less than 80 and x is like greater than or equal to 70, then it should print B grade. And next is,
Okay.
else if x is less than 70, then it should print C grade. So to balance the code, we need to write endif at the end. So now let's try running the code. So I
Yeah.
have only
So
shared
just
the
one thing,
Q64
you
screen.
forgot to like explain the A grade part, so I'll just tell it. So it's the same
Yeah,
as B grade. So just that X is like lesser than 90 and it should be greater than or equal to 80. Okay, so it's according to the data given to us. So we didn't change anything. Yeah, you can continue.
yeah. So I've only shared my QB64 screen. So I'll just stop sharing, and now I'll like share like, it again.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So I hope you can see my screen. So now
Yeah,
I'll be running the program.
sure.
So I guess it will take one minute or so. Yeah, it's gonna start now. Yes. So Arden, can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
So let's test all three. So what should we type? Like which number you can tell?
Okay, so for the A one, you can put 99.5.
Actually for O, right? Yeah,
Yeah, for O
99
grade.
is for O. Yeah. So 99 here and say O grade. So this part works.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so now we'll test the other one.
Yes.
So
Right.
now you can choose a number from between like 80 and 90.
81.
Let's try 81. So it will show A grade.
That's great.
So that also works. So let's test the last one. Yes. So now you can tell a number between 80 and 70.
I choose 75.
Okay. So what does it say? It says B grade. So now this is the
This
last
works.
one. So Aryan, you can like choose a number like below 70.
Okay, so just to make it funny, you can write 1.
Lol. Okay, so it's C grade. Anyways, like who will even get 1%?
Yeah. Anyways, it's like it's not bad. That just means you have to
Yeah,
learn
it's
better.
just to kind of like give some entertainment.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
So guys, one little tip here. So Subranchu, if you can go to the eye of input of the first line,
yes.
because I won't be able to run it. Yeah, right there. So because you can run it, I'll tell you. So just go to I.
Yeah.
Now click and enter. All right. So go to the first line. Now
Yes.
type an
Right.
underscore
Yeah.
and write full screen. I just want to see if this works. So guys, this is basically yeah, you can write it without any spaces. Full screen without a space.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. So guys, this is basically to make your QBasic the program it becomes full screen. So now if you see the difference, just run it once.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just gonna create it and then it'll run it and then I'll tell you. So
Yeah.
basically
So
before if you saw then the the what do you call the place where it was executed the window it was like not full screen, it was minimized. Now if you can see, just if you just add an underscore and full screen at the beginning of your program, then it makes your program full screen. All right, so if you want you can type the number and you can close this.
yeah. So this
All
was the
right,
program.
so yeah,
So like so
yeah,
Aryan.
that was great.
Yeah.
So thank you, Subranshu, for joining me today. And in our upcoming videos, we'll also collab for some other questions. So unfortunately, today we have less time. so we couldn't do it. Otherwise, we would have shared it in this video. All right. So thank you, Subhranshu, and I guess we can leave now. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.